Welcome to the Sherry Andrea Psychic Empath Show with your host, Sherry Andrea. Sherry Andrea brings her listeners interesting discussions and topics related to empathy, psychic and spiritual development, as well as energy work. She is herself a psychic empath, healer, coach, author, and founder of SherryAndrea.com. Welcome, and here is your host, Sherry Andrea.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Sherry Andrea. Thank you to all my listeners for joining me. I'm very thankful and very appreciative that you could be here, especially since I have a topic I'm really excited about tonight. Right off, let me give you the call-in number. It's 714-816-4750. Now, before we get started, I want to discuss just a couple of quick things. First of all, I just want to give you the website information just in case after the show you want to go there, find out more information, comment, leave me an email through the website. The website address is SherryAndrea.com. So that's Sherry, S-H-E-R-R-Y, like the wine, Andrea, ANDREA.com. We also have a forum, so if any of you would like to join, we have a lot of good people there. There's a lot of people who go there not only to learn, share knowledge, but also to practice abilities. It's not a psychic development forum. It's actually a combination of many things. So whether you're looking for psychic development forum, spiritual development forum, if you're looking to maybe share knowledge about metaphysical tools like the tarot, the runes, etc., or if you're into dreams, you'll find a little bit of everything there. So the members that are there now, if you go to SherryAndrea.com/forum, go there and take a read at some of the topics that we have in the forum and also some of the readings. There's a picture portrait reading section. We have a lot of fun in there. It's a great way for us to not only practice, but it's great because we can give everyone a good example of different people, different abilities, and how they manifest and how the readings come out. You know, we all get the same thing, but in a different way. Someone may be better at getting names and specific details. Someone may be better at getting more of a what's going on in your life now, and some may be better at telling them what they have coming up in their life. So definitely go there and register and join us. You'll find it's lots of fun, and we do have a lot of laughs. Also, if you're looking to get started, I normally do coaching for psychic development, but as it relates to spiritual development. So that's kind of normally what I do. But if you are looking for how to get started, also on the front page, the home page of my website, you will see my book there that's called How to Awaken and Develop Your Psychic Self. Really good book. It's basically a beginner's A to Z, including getting started all the way through development. So it makes it a lot easier for you, especially if you're I need the steps, I need the detailed steps. You'll find it really helpful. Now, before getting started on our topic tonight, I wanted to address a couple of things. I made a decision last week that I thought that, and I don't know, you can always comment and tell me what you think about this. I made a decision last week that maybe it would be a good idea if I started every show just explaining a little bit of who I am, what I do, so that you're more able to answer the question, what kind of areas maybe I can help you with. Because like many, I have my areas that I specialize in, that I'm best in, and that I'm most studied in. And then I have my areas that I really don't know much about, like metaphysical tools. I really can't help that much with that. I know just enough to be dangerous, but if you're looking for somebody to really help you, there are certain areas that I'm probably not the person. So basically, in short, my purpose in this lifetime is to help others along their path. One of those ways is to share the truth and the guidance that I've been given by way of my connection to my higher self and my I am presence. Now, I didn't say guide others along their spiritual path, because there's no separation, really. Everything is spiritual. There is nothing and no one that is not a part of oneness. We are all that. Now, if you feel like you're on a similar path as I am, and you'd like some help, some guidance to, discovering more about your purpose and your path, feel free to contact me through my website, and we can discuss it, of course. Now, on to tonight's topic, which I'm sure that there are several of you that are on the phone lines right now that really want to get into. Now, tonight's topic is the truth about relationships. Now, the reason why I decided to do this topic is because the first couple of shows I actually had a lot of people call in, and question after question had to do with relationships. And normally through Facebook, my website, I do get a lot of questions where people are asking me questions about either current relationships they're in, past relationships, some form of a relationship. Sometimes it's not the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Many times it's also, parent-child relationship. Most often, how to deal with parents at all stages and walks in life. There is so much going on. I'm sorry. I didn't stumble. My computer tonight, I don't know what's wrong with it. So if I lose you, or if I suddenly disappear into space, don't fear, I will be back. The switchboard kind of keeps blanking out on me, so hopefully we won't get disconnected. There's so much going on, like behind the scenes, when it comes to relationships, that obviously probably a 60-minute show on this topic probably isn't going to be enough. So I'm more than open to doing more shows of this type. So, of course, always feel free to, let me know if there's a particular show that you'd like me to do more of or do again. Feel free to let me know, and I'd be more than happy to do that. What is most important for everyone to know is that, first of all, you're not alone. So many share similar experiences, including myself. Where is always the best place to start, of course, and that's at the beginning. Now, I need you to get you a little bit up to speed, so just bear with me for those who are holding on the phone lines. Just bear with me just a few more minutes, because I really need to get you up to speed with a few truths quickly, so that you're more ripe for understanding some of the things that I'm going to share, and some of the things that also come through on a reading. Sometimes you get answers when you get a reading or when you ask questions about your loved ones that sometimes they don't make sense, and sometimes they may even seem kind of contradictory to you. Well, it helps if you can understand what the truth is. So most of us have lived many lifetimes, some more than others, but the thing to take notice of is, why would you do that? Well, why would you keep coming back over and over and over again? I mean, is it because life is so great, life is so easy? I mean, for most of us, if we had a choice, if we knew that we came back lifetime after lifetime, and we have a choice, we'd probably raise our hand right now and go, I don't want to come back, because life's not exactly, from beginning to end, a walk through the park. we most often choose what we want to get out of every lifetime. So when it comes to living our lives, the one thing that we actually don't realize and has bearing on all the experiences in our lifetime, especially our relationships, is that we chose this life, meaning we chose the experience and what we wanted to get out of this lifetime. We also chose the relationships that we wanted to be in. We basically, how I call it is, we chose the players. So, like for example, say there's someone in your life that you have constant conflict with most of the time, and it just drives you crazy and you'd like nothing more than to not have that person in your life anymore because it's hard on you. It's driving you crazy. Well, how would you feel? Would you feel differently to know that you chose them, that you asked them to be a player and to play that role in your life? Well, of course, you're probably wondering why you would do that. But the reason is you did it for the experience, for the learning, for the lessons. Why? Because the main thing that every lifetime is about spiritual advancement. It's about who you truly are, and everything, even if it doesn't seem like it on the surface, is about trying to spiritually advance. So, for certain roles, it's kind of hard to see that. I mean, it's kind of hard for you to see if somebody's done something hurtful to you, that you've chosen that for yourself. I had someone yell at me one time and say, well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't choose that. Why would I do that to myself? I love myself. Of course you love yourself. But you also came here for a specific reason. You came here to get those experiences by way of various things that happened in your life, relationships. I mean, think about it. Think about a relationship that you had. Maybe it ended poorly. What did you get out of that? What did you learn from it? Or did you not learn anything from it? And then coincidentally, you moved on to the next relationship, and maybe you had some of the same problems again. So you really have to look a little bit deeper. So when you're given a reading about a relationship, you have to really go a little bit deeper than we go. We usually only touch on the surface. We usually don't discuss the fact that this may be a person that you maybe spent time with in another relationship. In another lifetime. Maybe in a previous lifetime, the roles were reversed. Maybe you were together, though. Sometimes people say, well, the moment we met, it felt like I had known them all my life. Well, probably so, because you do know them. And you have to realize that. You do know them, and you've probably known them for a long time. You've probably had many lifetimes with them, with you each playing various roles for each other, or maybe a distant role. Same thing with parents. Often our parents have agreed to play that role for us. And so we wonder, even with a lot of self-work and a lot of change, we wonder, well, why aren't they changing? As I change, why aren't certain people around me changing? Well, it's simple. The agreement they made with you, the sacrifice they made for you was to come here and play that hard role. So maybe they made the agreement that they would come here and they would be the thorn in your side. That was a sacrifice they made to you. Or the boyfriend. Maybe there were certain things you wanted to learn in this lifetime. Maybe one of the things you wanted to learn was about self-esteem. And maybe through experiences, you were supposed to learn from that. And they agreed to play that role. And then there were the people who were like, okay, well, they go through the breakup and they don't understand. They can't get this person off their mind. They can't stop thinking about them. They don't understand why this person won't come back to them, or why the person doesn't feel that same pull that they feel. I hear often, well, I think he's my soulmate. Well, the pull many times that we're feeling is that we have been with them before, but maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in a previous lifetime. And yes, your previous lifetimes greatly do affect the current one you're living in. You don't think that you're still going to feel something for a person that meant a lot to you in a previous lifetime? Of course you are. But you cannot let that affect the current relationship in this lifetime. And so sometimes when you get to the end of the relationship, you do have to try your best to let go, because many times we've built such a strong connection because we already kind of had a connection from a previous lifetime. And then, we met up with them again in this lifetime and we established another strong bond, and it makes it that much harder for us to let go. And we don't feel like that's the right thing to do either. Sometimes you actually feel in your heart letting go isn't the right thing to do. But don't let that fool you. Don't let what you're feeling because of a previous lifetime, kind of trick you into thinking letting go isn't the right thing. Believe me, if you are meant to be together in this lifetime, it absolutely, without a doubt, will happen. However, sometimes that's not the person you're meant to be with for reasons. And so the person you're meant to be with can't come into your life until that relationship is kind of cleared out. So maybe you yourself are holding your own self up from realizing that relationship with that person who's waiting at the sidelines for you to get things cleared up, with the current or with the ex or whatever. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Now, I'm going to take a break from talking, and I am going to take a caller. Let's see who we have on the line. Hi, this is Sherry. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hello. Hi, this is Sherry. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. You're in Atlanta?
I'm in Cleveland, actually.
Oh, okay. Your number came up 440, not 400.
Oh, really?
So how can I help you?
Well, I had a question. I just didn't know if you saw anything with my friend. His name is Jay. We have a very good connection with each other, but we kind of have different choices in life at the moment. We both want the same thing in the long run, though. He says we're just friends. It's all we're ever going to be. We've laid in the bed together almost 2 years. Not all the time, but it was every weekend for a while. And he just cuddled with me, and everyone was like, why aren't you guys together? You're going to be together. And he's like, no, we're just friends. And he'd always think about the worst possible outcome as to, why things wouldn't work out. And our connection is really strong, and I'm just trying to get deeper and see if that's what it is or if there's someone else out there.
Well, the thing is, I don't see Jay making a commitment. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be with him, but I don't see him making a commitment. Mm-hmm. So in a case like that, when somebody tells you like something like that, really honestly, what comes next is you making that choice and that decision. If he's not going to be making commitment, then what are you going to do? What are your choices? Do you need the commitment to stay with him?
Yeah, I've stayed away more often after that.
And also, he's telling people that you're just friends, but this really has to do with the commitment issue that he has. The reason why he's telling people that is because there is some reason why he's afraid to make a commitment. Mm-hmm. It's not, I don't see it as being like, sometimes people are afraid to make a commitment because because of the relationship they've seen that their parents had when they were little. I don't see that as being the case. So I am not really certain. I'm not getting a clear answer as to what his reasons are, why he has a fear of making a commitment. But that is the reason why he's telling people that you're just friends. Mm-hmm. He does care about you. So this isn't an issue of, he doesn't care about you, he doesn't like you. He does, in fact, care about you. But for some reason, he has an issue with the commitment, like in a big, big way. So what I would recommend, I wouldn't recommend in that case you, pushing the issue of the commitment too hard. Right. But this may be one of those things where more time is needed. Yeah, more time is needed for him to feel comfortable enough to talk about what the real issue is with him and being afraid of making a commitment. So, of course, that means you have a choice to make. You have to decide if you want to stick around.
Yeah, I've been doing a pretty good job at staying away. Like last time I slept at his house, I slept on the couch. This weekend, there's a band that we always see together, and I didn't show up. I did show up at his work yesterday because that's where I play my sports. And I basically laid the line down that he, in a nice way, that, he doesn't make any effort to be my friend, and I, basically was tired of it. We were civil the whole time, and it ended good, but I kind of nicely said, hey, I'm not coming around unless you make an effort.
Well, I'm not saying that the two of you, there is no, like I was just talking about, relationships where you've spent other lifetimes together. This isn't the case here. This is actually simple. I know it doesn't seem on the surface simple, but the problem is very specific, about him having a commitment issue for some reason, him having a fear of making a commitment. But the thing is that whether you're willing to take the time and the patience to wait until he actually starts opening up about why, and to be honest, I don't see a commitment coming from him anytime soon. So this is going to be one of those things where you have to make the decision, how would you feel if he never made a commitment, but maybe you had the opportunity to still be together? That's a pretty tough decision to make, but that's basically the decision that you're looking at. That, and you can't really cut and dry say, oh, if he's not going to make a commitment, then I'm out of here. You can't really say that because many people don't make that type of commitment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There are some people who have these relationships where they're really good together, the relationship is really strong, and they really love each other, but they never get married legally. There are many people out there that don't even believe in that. So you have to decide how important a commitment to you is. It may be that the love and the relationship itself is more important than the commitment, because honestly, I don't see that commitment coming anytime soon. And by anytime soon, I mean not even within the next 3 years.
Okay.
So,
You see him making out with anybody?
No. And that's why I say what I'm getting is that this isn't something where it has something to do with you, doesn't have something to do with who he's with. This has something to do with his, whatever problem it is, whatever issue he has, whatever fear he has of making a commitment. I'm not really getting the reason why, but I get the feeling that it's something that happened that he's basing this on. And the only thing really that you can do is, the only choices that you have to make is either, you walk away or you stay in there with him, committed to the relationship in whatever form it is, and you wait until he opens up to you about why he has an issue with commitment.
Yeah, he had a girlfriend for, I think, 4 years, and he lived with her. They had a house and a dog. I know that's one thing that's always, scared him. And he'll talk about how he wants that kind of stuff, but I can tell there's something he's not.
Maybe if you can get him to maybe at some point feel comfortable enough to open up about it, about what the issue he has with commitment is, you could possibly change the outcome. It's like people do this thing called quantum healing, and it's based on quantum physics. And the law of quantum physics says that when you're not looking at it, it's in one state. But the minute you put focus and attention on it, it changes its state. So what I mean is, if you get him to open up and tell you, like, what's going on, you know, and then you have something to work with. Then you could you could talk about it. You could try to get to the bottom of it, and something could come from that. But I don't see it happening commitment-wise unless you get to that point. Now, if you can do that, then you may change the outcome. If you can find out what the real problem is and why he has a commitment issue, then you can change the outcome of it, potentially. And so, got your work cut out for you.
What's that?
I said you've got your work cut out for you.
What do you mean?
Well, because, I mean, that's not exactly an easy feat. Generally, if he felt comfortable talking about it, he would have talked about it by now. So there's going to be a reason why he really hasn't, opened up to let you, you know what I mean, to let you know what the issue is.
Right. Yeah, like he's opened up to me about, any drugs, any girls, his grandpa that's not alive, how he wants to tattoo, his grandpa on his arm, and the next day he was embarrassed about it because, he had been drinking that night, and he opened up and said, he was saying things like, are you ready to lose your friends, because you want to be with me, and this and that. Like, he was looking at the worst possible outcomes, and he'll only say that stuff when he's drinking, and it's strange.
It seems like what the problem is one of the problems that he has is that, and I just confirmed it. I don't want you to think that I'm just repeating it back to you. When you said that, I asked the question of, is he afraid that if he makes a commitment to you, that you're going to leave? And the answer was yes.
Right, yep, yeah.
So, at least that gives you a starting point, somewhere to start in talking to him about it and trying to get him to open up. Maybe if you relate to him from the point of view of that you understand and you make him feel like you get it and you understand, then maybe he'll open up that much more. If you let him know that, you get it, and even if he has, that's his problem, that you're not just going to decide to leave him because he's got this issue. And a lot of times, you know what I mean? You need to make a person feel comfortable with the issue they have and knowing that you're not going to turn your back on them because of it. And once you do, and they feel like you're not, then you're usually home free and they'll open up.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always told him, that I won't date him because he smokes pot every day. And I got over that point, and with where in my head I thought, okay, well maybe we could just compromise on, if we're going out to dinner, I would just respectfully ask him not to do it for dinner, And I've never actually talked to him about that, and that's what we would have needed to talk about.
Right. Well, but yeah, with someone who's having a problem committing, the last thing usually that you want to do is start telling them stipulations for being together. Like, I cannot be together with you if, or I will only be with you if this. Usually with a person who doesn't want to make, is shying away from making commitment, the last thing they want to hear is, something like that, is that you have these stipulations and these rules they have to meet, because that kind of heads them in the other direction.
Yeah, I said that about 2 years ago. Like, I'm really, really okay. Like, I'm cool with him all the time. I never sit there and judge him. Sometimes I'll roll my eyes and be like, but I'll still laugh about it. I won't ever sit there and call him stupid or tell him he's doing wrong for what he's doing. I try to support him and, accept his decisions.
Well, I think you have a good place to start, and I think you know now what you need to do, and you know what you're looking at, and that you're looking at there's a relationship that is feasible. It could work. There's nothing wrong with the relationship. You just need to get to the bottom of this one issue, the issue of commitment. And I mean, you're in a relationship together, and in a relationship, you kind of count on each other to help each other with the issues that you have.
Right.
This is what it's all about. So, don't worry about how solid the relationship or anything is. I would just work on trying to get him to feel comfortable enough to open up to you, because then you'll have a starting point. Then you'll have, something to work on, somewhere to go that can help change things for both of you.
Right.
So
okay.
I wish you luck with that.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you calling in, but I'm sure you'll do fine. You'll do fine, because you know what you're dealing with. And when you know what you're dealing with, then like half the battle is won. You just have to, with patience, just hang in there and wait until he's ready to open up.
Right, yeah. He actually, one more thing before you go, he got a tattoo. We both plan on getting patience tattoos. And he got his. I got to get mine. There are two different ones, but they're both going to say patience. That's our thing. We've always told her to have patience.
Yeah, that's very nice. And I mean, a person, two people who came up with something like that, it shows that they want to have that connection with each other. We're not talking two people who are trying to get away from each other. We're talking about two people who want to be with each other. So, I mean, you can really look at it that the commitment issue is actually a small issue in comparison to what you already have together. You know what I mean? This is really not a huge issue. Because, whether you make a commitment, you make the decision to get married, these are things that don't change the relationship. These are things that don't make a relationship good or bad. These are just you can consider them the extra benefits of the relationship, but they don't make or break it.
Right.
And it sounds like both of you want to be together. He's just got this one issue. And I'm sure that together, having that connection, that, you're going to be able to get through that, and end up having a good, long-lasting relationship. Even if the type of commitment that is what's considered traditional. It doesn't have to be traditional. There's nothing in a rule book that says that a relationship has to be traditional and has to have a certain type of commitment. He only has to have that commitment to you, to caring about you, and to loving you. The rest is extra. You know what I mean? The rest is extra.
Yeah, I want to work with him.
So I'm sure you'll do fine. And thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and have a good night, Kelly.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to take one more caller before we discuss relationships anymore, because I don't want to miss anyone tonight. Hi, caller. You're on the air. How can I help you?
Hello?
Hi, this is Sherry. You're on the air. How can I help you?
Well, I guess my relationship is broken up now, I guess. I'm like, I have to move, and I was supposed to be moving tomorrow, but they put it off till the 23rd.
Okay.
But my, friend thinks that I'm moving tomorrow, and he's been avoiding me for the last couple days. And just a little while ago, he said, "Well, you're on your own,
Was this a relationship that was like? Was this like a relationship that was like? Was it like less than a year old?
No, it's been over 2 years.
Okay. And now, what's the, I mean, you just broke up just recently, like within days?
Yeah, like just about an hour ago, I guess. Because he goes, like he was supposed to help me move. And now he doesn't want to help me move, so he's just going to dump me, is what he's saying.
Well, I'm getting that your relationship's not over. So I wouldn't count him completely out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying one way or the other, good relationship, bad. I'm just saying I'm getting that the relationship is not over. You have not seen the last of him. So I wouldn't exactly just yet say that you're absolutely without a doubt broken up, because I'm getting that it's not over yet. Now, he may have said, which often people do, they'll say it's over, and they'll seem like they'll walk their separate way, like they're not coming back. But often, people will come back. And that's why, I'm just getting that it's not over yet. Was there a specific problem that led to this? It was something specific.
Well, he doesn't want to help me move.
Is this the only, are you saying that this is the reason why he walked out, is because, is it that he doesn't want to help you move, or is it that he doesn't want you to move, that he doesn't agree with you moving?
Oh, that doesn't matter. They're remodeling the units I'm in, so they're relocating me to another unit while they remodel the unit I'm in. And it's a lot of work, and he doesn't want to. He just told me, well, he has to focus on himself, and he has to worry about moving his own self eventually. And
is this is this the behavior, basically how he's acted the majority of the relationship?
Not this bad. Not this bad.
But to some degree, he's always acted a little bit. I don't want to use the word selfish, because it's not always selfish. Some people are better at putting themselves first than others, and then there are people who, aren't good at that type of thing and never put themselves first. But generally, he's, to varying degrees, been like this your whole relationship. What do you want?
Well, I don't think I can deal with a guy that's just going to leave me in a lurch just like that. But he's calling me a bitch and everything, and trying to make me feel like it's my fault that he's doing this to me, leaving me in a lurch.
Is there, what do you feel is the reason why you're still together? What is the reason why this relationship hasn't ended before? Is it you that's keeping the relationship together?
Yeah, basically.
Well, really, to be perfectly honest, there isn't anything I could say that's going to change, like his behavior, that's going to change what he's going to do, that's going to make him different than this. So, I could say a lot, but we're still dealing with the same person. People do change over time, but generally, for the moment, we have to think about the now and not the possibility that they may change 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. 5 years from now, he could be the ideal guy. You know what I mean? But a lot of times we can't live ourselves waiting for that 5 years to roll around. So, you have to make the decision on if you want more of what he's given you, or if you're ready to get more, to get what you deserve out of a relationship, out of a partner, someone where it's actually a partnership, where if it's you moving, it's them moving.
Right. Well, we were supposed to look for a place together, but he never has any money. Like, as soon as he gets money, it's gone. But he doesn't want to tell me where it goes.
If he does come back, what are you going to do? I mean, what do you think is best for you?
Giving it up.
And what's hard for you about that? What is the one thing that you're not looking forward to when it comes to that?
Not having anybody.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. That I got the feeling that being alone was the one thing that you did not want. That's not, and don't feel bad about that. There are a lot of people out there that have relationships for that reason, that don't like being alone. I've known lots of people that will get in a relationship and then stay in it because they really do. They want someone there, even if that person is only good for them half of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, you're the only one that can, make that hard choice to say, okay, well, I'll bite the bullet and I'll move on from this, knowing I'm going to meet somebody better than this. And in the meantime, I'll try to busy myself with something. I'll get a hobby. I'll surround myself with friends. I'll, take a knitting class at the craft store so I can, meet new friends. You can figure out what to do with the alone time. But the one thing you're not going to be able to figure out is how to make him different than he is.
Right.
So
I'm just still kind of in shock that he's just gonna leave me in a lurch,
I know what you mean. Sometimes, a lot of times when we care about people, we don't see them as doing certain things. We just think, that they would put us in a hard position because we really think, okay, well, even if I love you more than you love me, I know you care about me, and so I know you must care about me enough to not do that. But the thing is, when someone shows you some part of themselves like this, it's actually an opportunity for you to say, okay, I've seen it, he showed it to me, let me get out of here now. You know what I mean? It really... in a way, it's a bad thing, but also it's a good thing. Maybe this happened because you needed to really see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you needed to see it in the worst way that would make you realize that you needed to make a decision about this.
Yeah.
But only you can do that. You can go either way. You can let him back in and you can let him stay around for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But, you got to look at the trade-off. Is 5 years with someone who possibly may not change worth maybe, being, not being alone for a few months?
Right.
You really have to, kind of look at both sides of it. Think of the things that that you could get into, hobbies that you can get into, time you could spend with friends.
Yeah.
There are many things that we could keep ourselves busy with. Maybe there's a new hobby, something you've always wanted to do, excuse me, that you can actually get into.
Yeah.
So think about it, and instead of worrying about him and what he did, just focus on resolving the problem of Maybe who's going to help you move? Are you going to do it yourself? Put your focus on that, on resolving that issue. And then once you have that issue resolved, then you could take some time and think about what you're going to do with your relationship with him. Because it's up to you. You can do anything you want. You can make any choice you want. You know, we create our own realities. So that's like saying you can make any choice, but what are you creating by the choice you make? What, you know what I mean? What life, you know, if you could visualize it, think of the choice and what kind of life that would create for you. And thinking of both choices. You know, but, I mean, it's a tough decision. I mean, I understand on the one side you've got being alone, and the other side you've got him, and he's not exactly what you want him to be. There is no easy choice, but you're going to have to weigh which one is worse, which one you really want to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, you can always find friends to spend time with. I mean, a lot of my friends I met online. I mean, if I need somebody to talk to, they're good people. I met really good, decent people. And if I really need somebody to talk to and someone to be there for me, I mean, they're always there. I mean, there are so many ways to make friends. There are so many different hobbies and projects to get into. I mean, really, I mean, you think about it, but think about which one outweighs the other.
Like, I was wondering what your opinion on this thing. Like last weekend, I was having a garage sale, and he offered to put the signs out, you know, to make the signs and put them up, you know, and he just used the magic marker and just, you know, just wrote, right, you know, a single line on there, and I'm like, I don't know if the people can see those signs very good because you didn't make it very dark, you know, the lettering. I was concerned about whether people would be able to read them, you know. And he got all mad at me, and he was going to, you know, just leave me on my own to do the whole garage sale by myself, too, just because of that.
It sounds like, you know, he doesn't need much of an excuse to kind of turn his back, to kind of walk away from something.
Right.
I'm getting that it's not just relationships that he acts this way towards. There are other things in his life that he does this with, where if someone questions him or makes criticism, that he's very quick to walk away from it, and not just in relationships. This is in his life across the board. This is, you know, a characteristic of this person. And again, it looks like you were shown something. You know, spirit works in mysterious ways. We all have guides. Some of them are with us our whole lifetime. And they're here to help us. And sometimes they will orchestrate things, you know, experiences to help us see things that we're not seeing. Because it seems strange that you were shown something during that incident. And now, think about it. That wasn't a huge thing. That was just the yard sale. So the signs being wrong, that wasn't a huge issue because, of course, you could have taken care of rewriting them yourself. However, this issue is much bigger because you need help moving. This is a much huger issue for him to turn his back on you.
Right.
So it really is starting to look like someone's trying to get your attention to show you something. The question is, are you going to see it?
Right.
It seems like your guides or your higher self or the angels, the spirits that are around you are really trying really hard to open your eyes to this. And for a reason. Maybe that because see, the way relationships work, and this is also for soulmates too, the way they work is that if there is someone in this lifetime that was meant to be in your life, that you were meant to have a relationship with, and you're already in a relationship, the way is not clear for them to come in. So maybe there's a reason why you need to clear this guy out of your life. There may be someone that you were meant to be with that's waiting to come in, but they cannot come in until, the way is clear. It's just like, have you ever heard somebody say you have to clear out the old for the new to come in?
Yeah.
And often, many times, people do spring cleaning for this reason. They'll do spring cleaning. They'll take clothes they haven't worn for a while to Goodwill. They'll give stuff away to friends and stuff that they don't want anymore, because you clear some old out of your life to make room for the new. That works the same way with relationships. Just know that if there is someone that's meant to be in your life, that's really meant to be with you, that's going to be good for you, they can't come in as long as he's there.
Right.
So now, of course, it's, sometimes it looks bleak, right? But, because you have feelings for him. But now, what if I told you that it was Prince Charming that was waiting to come into your life? You'd probably get rid of him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Well, the person usually, when you clear out the old, usually the one that comes in next is more suited for you, especially when they're one that you haven't gone in search of. It's a difference from us, like, say, going out to the nightclub on purpose because we're looking for someone. There's a difference between that and to just being open and ready for that person to just naturally come in that was meant to be with us, that's good for us.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, you have a little bit to think about. The thing is, don't feel like you have to rush. The fact of the matter is, if you're going to have to find someone else to help you move or move alone, it's no rush making the decision on what you're going to do. Take your time. Take your time. Really think about things. Really think about how you feel about them. Do the what ifs. It's always good to talk yourself through anything.
Yeah.
But at least, take the time to really, think about it and weigh, all the sides. Kind of think in your mind about, if I make this choice, okay, then what am I going to do? Or if I make this choice, what am I going to do and how is it going to be? At least give yourself the benefit of the doubt and take some time and look at everything.
Mhm. Yeah.
Breakups are difficult, regardless of whether the guy was really good to us or bad to us. It doesn't matter how they were really. Breakups are hard regardless because we formed a connection to that person. You know what I mean? And it's the same connection that you're feeling right now. And those connections, it doesn't go away easily. If it did, this would be a piece of cake, of course.
Right.
But the thing is, you have to understand you're still going to feel that connection for a little while. But it's really going to be you staying strong and being like, no, I'm not going to think about him, I'm not going to go back to him. That's going to be the only thing that ends up allowing you to, if you make that choice that you're not going to keep him in your life, that's going to be the thing that you're going to have to do until the connection lessens. And that's why I said, think about a hobby, a project, something you've been wanting to do, somewhere you've been wanting to go maybe, spending time with friends, busy yourself. Because if you make the decision that you're going to, attempt to move gradually away from him, and when I say that, I don't mean physically, I mean heart-wise. because, it's one thing physically. It's another thing to move away from a person as far as the connection that you have to them. It takes time to distance the connection. Believe me, I know. I went to a hypnotist one time to have him help me forget a guy. So I know how hard it can be. I actually did that one time because I had a hard time. It was so on my mind, in the forefront of my mind, that I couldn't even focus on work.
Yeah.
So I understand the connection and what it does to you until you can lessen it and then break it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that it's nothing I can ever depend on, and he'll always be broke, and he'll always be drunk, and.
Well, do you get out and meet people?
No, I haven't really.
Yeah, because I
haven't.
I feel that you hold back from that you hold out from going out, and you're not. I don't get that sense that you're out there in a here I am sort of a way.
Right.
So what do you think are your opportunities to meet someone? Really, where do you go? Are we talking grocery store?
I hardly go anywhere.
Well, do you have friends that ever try to set you up?
Well, I don't really have a lot of any friends right now, except my one friend up out of town, my ex-boyfriend from a couple of years ago. He offered to let me stay over on his property.
Well, I'm going to tell you, because the reason why I brought it up is because I don't really go out that much either. I'm a single mother. I'm probably closer to the way you are. I have a tendency not to just be out there. So I have a tendency to not be at places where I have the opportunity to meet someone. So the only thing that I can tell you is the one thing that I've noticed that helps with that is making the decision to get, if you do even have one friend, to commit yourself to say, you know what, once a week, me and my friend, we're going to go out and we're going to have dinner or something at a restaurant where we might have a chance to just be seen. You know what I mean? Something as simple as that. You don't have to commit yourself to talking to anybody. Just say that I'm going to at least go once a week or twice a week, and we're going to start this. We used to call it a girls' day out.
Mhm. Yeah.
Either that or think of things that you can do where you would have the opportunity to meet someone. Even going to Home Depot, they have those classes they give once a week on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And even doing something like that, doing those home improvement classes.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what, sexy guy you'll meet there that's, looking to improve his skills at home improvement. Think of it in a creative way, but also something that might end up just being a little bit fun for you, just because it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are all types of things that you can do, but you got to get a little creative. But for now, if you just at least think of something that you can do for yourself that's going to busy you, a hobby, something maybe that you've liked that you haven't done for a while, knitting, puzzles, crocheting, painting, anything that you can think of that you can do that would take your mind away, and give you something to busy yourself.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to end the show. So, of course, if you if you need any other information or help, feel free to go to my website, SherryAndrea.com, and you can contact me through my website. Okay? And I have a forum, too, so feel free to sign up on the forum because, I mean, we you know, you don't have to have psychic abilities to sign up on the forum. I mean, we chat about all different types of things, and, you know, this is a topic that we often talk about, you know, the relationships in our lives, so you'll be right at home, trust me. And you can find the forum through my website, too. If you go to my website, you'll see the link for the forum. And myself and some of my other friends that we actually met on another forum years ago. This tells you how good they are, what like good type of people they are, and what type of friends they are. Is that when you meet somebody online and you've stuck with each other this long, super nice people, and we all can relate to what everybody's going through because we've all gone through it, or some of us are going through it now, and we all help each other, and that's what it's really all about, is that when the other person needs help, you know, we help each other. You know, who else is going to help you except for a friend that truly cares about you? You know, especially when the person that you felt should have been that one, you know, maybe kind of let you down on that, you know, in that regard. So feel free to come over to the forum, sign up, introduce yourself so that, you know, you will have some place to go, people to chat with, you know, online and off, you know, because I think that you'll find something like that will be good for you. Meeting new friends, you know, having some way to occupy your time. For some of us, when, you know, we went through, you know, ending relationships, we needed that because we needed somebody to talk to keep our minds off of the things we didn't want to think about, you know. So that's what you need more than anything. You need basically friends and support. You need, you know what I mean? And you can get through anything with that.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm really glad that you could call in today.
Thank you.
What was your first name?
Lori.
Lori? Okay. Yeah. I'll watch out for you on the forum maybe in the next couple of days. If you sign up, I'll keep an eye out for you.
Okay.
Okay, and it was great talking to you. And I hope you call in again, too.
I'm gonna be really busy now that I have to do all the moving myself.
I know, but you know, maybe it's for the best. You know, your guides are probably saying, if you would have paid attention to the yard sale sign thing, they have a good sense of humor. But don't worry, you know, you'll get through it. You know, don't worry, you'll get through it. And once you're done with the moving and you've gotten through it, you know, then you'll be able to relax.
Yeah.
Remember, these things happen. We all find ourselves occasionally in situations like this where we did count on someone to be there for us because that was what they were supposed to be for us. I mean, it's happened to me enough times. So I can relate, you know, and just, you know, don't waste your energy being upset about it. Just say, okay, where do I start? You know, and, you know, because the sooner you get started, the better that you'll feel, even though you have to do it yourself. Hey, you know, you may get a surprise. Maybe someone unexpectedly will come along and will help you. You never know.
Yeah.
So just keep thinking positive about it. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, and thanks for calling, and hopefully I'll see you on the forum, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so it's 10:06 now, and I guess we're going to close out the show now, even though it's a little bit late, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm probably going to do more of these shows. I'm going to do another one, probably the same topic, the truth of relationships, because as you can see, just from, the couple of callers, you can see how in-depth it is. You can see kind of that there's so much going on behind the scenes that we need to look at. And what you can see even more is you can see that above all else, you have to know and you have to be able to remember that you're not alone, that there are tons of people that either have gone through the same thing you're going through or are currently going through it. And if others that went through it survived it, then so can you. So, when it comes to breakups, you really have to really take the time to think, maybe that person wasn't right for you. Maybe there's another one, just waiting in the wings, waiting for the way to be clear to come in. But maybe you haven't really disconnected from that person, that ex, to give that other person that's supposed to be in your life a chance to come in. Well, I'm glad that everyone could join me today. And once again, I really enjoyed bringing you this show, and I look forward to bringing this topic to you again so we can finish our discussion, because I have notes that I didn't even get through. Okay, so this is Sherry Andrea, and until Thursday, bye-bye.